Hey YouTube, I'm back with another deck profile. In this video, we're going to be going over my updated Murakumo deck. So, Hyakki Vogue, he's here again. Didn't change all that much, really. Like, they just basically got a new grade 2, and they got a new stride unit. And I just changed it up just to reflect that. So, Hyakki Vogue reverse, he's back in action. The hardest decision was figuring out what would be the alternate grade 3. So what I ended up doing was going with this style. So for Hyakki Vogue reverse, he's really needed. A lot of people who I've seen running this deck, they just run the Break Ride again. Similar to what I complained about in Seal Dragons, I feel like Break Ride isn't really needed in a deck that has its main new stride support now. I feel like the stride is really what you do now instead of Break Riding. So I didn't run the Break Ride. So rather than running the GB2 guy, which is the other good option that they had, I decided to just keep Shirayuki in here. So I just stuck with Shirayuki mainly because she got her Fighters Collection stride unit previously. Now Hyakki Vogue has his, so yeah, now they're together. So regardless of which one you ride, you have access to like potentially a total of like 6 or I guess 5 strides. So yeah, and that allowed me to run Yuki again because now they're all now all the Vanguards are Limit Break, so it's kind of like Limit Break is now back in action. So for grade 2s, for Stealth Dragon Runestar, he's really important. He's the Amber clone for Murakumo. You gotta run for this guy. I mean, this guy is really good at getting cloning himself, so he duplicates himself, so you can be able to get a third one of him on the field for your restand, or whatever you need. Like, he just helps you make those plays. Next, for Stealth Dragon Oboro Keeper, he is just another really good card that can help you get. So basically, what he does is he's just from the Fire Collection, for those wondering. So what he does is, at the end of your turn, you can choose 2 of your Oboro Keepers from your rearguard circle, which basically means 2 of him, if you got 2 of them. And then search your deck for a grade 3, reveal to the opponent, put in your hand, and shuffle your deck. And what you do is you put these 2 in the top of the deck in any order, and you shuffle the deck. So they get shuffled back in, and you basically gain a stride fodder. So if you're on Hyakki Vogue, you might just use that to call that down. If you're on Shirayuki, you can use it as a defensive maneuver, or you can use it to stride next turn. So it's a pretty good card. I feel like it's better than Fujino because Fujino honestly never really did anything when I used to use her in this deck, so I just took it out. And then 3 Grenjin, because Grenjin is really good turn 2 ride, and he can duplicate himself for 1 turn, and his effect is Vanguard or Rearguard, and he's not GB restricted. So he's just not as good as this guy because he has to hit. That's the main reason why I'm running 3 of him. So yeah, that's the grade 2 lineup. So 4, 4, 3. For grade 1s, 4 White Heron, because the deck does still tend to counterblast quite a bit. Grenjin, this guy, Hyakki Vogue, when you ride him, he counterblasts 2, Shirayuki, all that stuff. Next, 4 Yuki. If you don't want to run this, you can run 4 Stride Fodder. It's up to you. I like Yuki because she allows me to start using Hyakki Vogue reverses effect as fast as I can. Same thing with Shirayuki. And because you have cards like this that will start tutoring things, you tend to like stack grade 3s in your hand anyway. So yeah. Like if you're on Hyakki Vogue, all your Shirayukis become Stride Fodder. If you're on Shirayuki, all your Hyakki Vogues become Stride Fodder. So I feel like Yuki is fine. And then for Stealth Fiend Lake Diver, he is really important for your restand stride unit. I feel like he's a promo. He's like, so he's kind of a little bit more rare, but he's just really essential. So yeah. And then 2 Stealth Beasts Metamorphox. So you can either run this or you can run the 2 Stride Fodder. This I ran it only because of Hyakki Vogue, to do the play that I talked about when I first built this deck. So you can literally just make all 3 columns, all 3 Hyakki Vogues attack for 31k each. So, and because the deck runs stand triggers, it's pretty scary. So speaking of the stand triggers, for grade 0s, Force Stand, because if you do the play with the double Fox, you will swing with 31 in each lane. So 31 first Hyakki, 31 Vanguard Hyakki, so then if you check this, then that one stands up, and you know, it's just pretty scary. And then just 8 criticals. You don't need draws because you clone a lot of stuff, and the stuff will either go to your hand or go back in the deck. So it dodges Link Joker, it dodges Mega Colony, and Kagero, and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like the draws aren't needed. And of course 4 heals. And Chain Sickle Stealth Rogue Onifundo, because he's still like the best starter they've got. He helps you set up plays and get extra stuff on the field using your Soul Blast. So yeah, pretty important. For stride units, it depends on which one of these is your Vanguard. So if you're on Hyakki Vogue, I am running 2 Ambush Demon Stealth Dragon Hyakki Vogue Nayuta. What he does is, main phase effect, once per turn, you can choose one of your rearguards with Hyakki in the name, put on the bottom of the deck. If you have a heart with Hyakki in the name, choose one of your units, search your deck for up to 1 unit of the same name as that unit, call it, and it gets plus 10,000. And at the end of the turn, return that unit to your hand. So the nice thing about this is it takes a Hyakki Vogue that is on the rearguard circle, puts it back in the deck, clone something else, which will usually be one of your grade 2s, typically. Unless you have something else you can call in from your hand, then you can search like a grade 1. You can clone one of the grade 1s, like Yuki or something. But the fact that he gives it 10k power is pretty good. Pretty decent stride. Like, I feel like, I don't know what is wrong with them when it comes to making Murakumo. I feel like Bushiroad doesn't really know what they're doing when they make Murakumo cards. Like, it's almost like they're too scared that they'll break something and make the clan like super OP. But I feel like they're just a lesser version of Neo Nectar, to be honest. And I feel like they really could improve this clan a lot. So, I mean, they're starting to make Your Chronicle do Murakumo stuff only better. So I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so that's what you ride. That's what you have access to if you're in Hyakki Vogue Reverse. If you're on Shirayuki, it's the same as before. It's the 2 Shirayuki. This stride unit's really good for Shirayuki only. I mean, you can actually use this with Hyakki Vogue, only you won't get to keep the card in your hand. You won't be able to swap it for another thing. But, yeah. And then I am running the 2 Homura Raider. 2 is enough. You'll only ever really be able to use this once per game, if that. And then I am running 1 Kagi Jishi. Reason why I'm only running 1 now is because I'm not running the Tester Fox guy. But I have been able to use him a couple times, and he's still pretty good as a one-time stride. You only really need to stride him once, though, because Hyakki Vogue can do better stuff than him. And then 1 Ushimitsu Train, which is basically their on-hit. So you can run 2 of him if you want, if you don't want to run this guy. But the deck is very counterblast heavy because of this guy and all the other things, that there isn't really room for Blizza. And he's not really needed, so they don't run any GB2 Vanguards, so again, Blizza's not really needed. So anyway, guys, that was Hyakki Vogue. Combos are still relatively the same as before in terms of the reverse play. So let me know what you think about Murakumo, what you would change in this deck, if anything. And hope you guys enjoyed that video, and stay tuned for more Cardfight Vanguard videos in the future, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.